Hello, I'm Inventor Dan Zen with Tales from the Purple Box. Except I can't find my purple box at the moment, so we shall use the purple book. Zen Cowboy. And white. White. Ah! Of course. Harry White. I met this guy about a couple months ago in a gallery, in the art gallery. And I was minding the gallery. And he's got long hair and he's Harry White. And he does alternative housing, it turns out. So like houses in containers and earthships and solar lofts and things like this. You know, cool. We had a great talk, half an hour, maybe longer, maybe even an hour, about all this stuff. And he has a big Canada Day party each year, or has done it for the last few years. And he's got this land on Snake Road, at the corner of Snake Road and Old York, down by the highway side, not the windy bit going up into the escarpment, which would have been really cool. But anyway, this big bit of land right on the corner under some hydro wires. And where he's got these container houses and, you know, gardens and things like that. And so it sounds like a great hippie fest and like, wow, cool. So for the last, 2 months up to Canada Day, I was really looking forward to this party. And I didn't see him again, but I was going, okay, I'm going to go to this party. It sounds like fun. Let's see, the week before Canada Day, or maybe 2 weeks before Canada Day, I went to the Nor Mill party, and that's, let's see, it was Mac and Daryl and I went up there to somewhere like Wyerton. It wasn't Wyerton, but something like that anyway, up north, to Norman White's party. And he's Norman White, founder of Canadian Electronic Art. So he did early art installations in airports, with LEDs and things like that are still up and running, and electronic art, where there was one when we went up there. It's an arm wrestling thing where two people at a large distance would arm wrestle, and he did it at the time of Gorbachev, probably like the early 90s or something. And it would send the signal of how strong you're pushing on one, this mechanical arm. It would send the signal across a modem to somewhere far away, and then that force would be applied to the other person. Anyway, neat guy. All this big party in a mill, and a wonderful time we spent there. But now this is a week later after that, 2 weeks later after that, we've got the Canada Day party with Harry White, and Mac and I thought it would be neat to invite Wax Mannequin. Wax Mannequin is this... well, I think what it was is I invited Mac, and Mac was already planning on doing something with Wax, and I said, well, hey, we should all come to this party, this Canada Day party. At Harry White's. He does alternative housing, and Wax Mannequin would be into that. Wax is a musician who plays usually by himself, and wonderful witty songs, but they're sometimes political, sometimes philosophical, but very, very witty and unusual. And he plays with a candle on his head sometimes. And I had seen him a couple of years before at the Manor Run Farm hippie festival of alternative farming and stuff like that, and danced like a madman, gypsy dancing, and psychedelic, and mod beatnik stuff. So one of the best dance nights I've ever had was Wax playing on this hill. We were all on a hill dancing, whirling around. Amazing times. Anyway, so I certainly have great respect for Wax Mannequin. I've known him for maybe 10 years, but I haven't really met him too many times. Like I hung out with him once or twice, that sort of thing, and that's about it. So anyway, we invite him to this party, and he kind of goes, yeah. So we go up to his place in Ancaster. He lives by my mom. a survey in Ancaster up on the hill of Hamilton, and go to pick him up. And we get to his door, and there's a crying baby and a wife, and he kind of goes, I can't go with you guys. I'll meet you there. And I say, well, I don't know where it is. All I've been told is at these crossroads on Snake Road. And I know I can find it. Obviously, it's crossroads underneath some hydro wires, and we'll get it. But I can't tell you how to get there exactly. So I said, well, we'll wait. We can just go to park and play frisbee. And he goes, how long do you need? And he goes, 15 minutes. And we go, okay, yeah, no problem. So Mac and I went back to the park and started playing catch. And there's a couple, an East Indian couple on a bench, and so I kind of threw the frisbee too far, and they're young, they're courting, and threw the frisbee too far. It kind of lands near them, and they get up and they throw the frisbee. We start playing catch together, and then these kids come from afar and run through giggling, and they go to these goalposts and whip the frisbee really far, and hey, catch this! And they catch it and they start playing. So we ended up having a wonderful time with the whole park playing frisbee. As we go, we're driving the car back to Wax's place, and the kids are running next to the car going, ah! That was a good time. Anyway, we get back to Wax's, and he's ready, I suppose. Comes into the car. We take off down the hills of Hamilton, the mountain, and it's on the other side of Hamilton and Snake Road, the windy bits. And the whole time, Wax is on his mobile device texting, and which isn't like him at all. He's like definitely preoccupied, and he was kind of going like, no, it's all right. We had a really nice day. We went out to the Grand River and had a picnic and stuff. So you can tell that he's in the middle of some sort of discussion with his wife. It was probably like they come back from that and they were expecting a romantic night, and he's sort of like, well, I'm going out with the boys to a Canada Day party. So he was trying to get all that sorted out, I suppose. Anyway, we arrive in the Snake Road area. We have to kind of cut up Highway 6 and along this road that nobody goes on, sort of the extension of York, and then we come around. It's Old York Road, I guess it is. And this is a location that's kind of it's kitty corner to Highway 403 and Highway 6. But it's in it's less populated by far, and it's not quite dead ends, but it's really just a couple crossroads and a lot of sort of residential farm kind of, but underneath the mountain brow. It's an unexplored really area. Like, definitely over half the people, probably more like 90% of the people in Hamilton haven't even been to that area. I like driving, so I've certainly been there before. So anyway, we're on Old York Road, and we get to the corner. And sure enough, there's a party. Whoa, yay! And another party even down the way. And so we stop at the first party in the corner. We go, hey, is this Harry White's place? Is this his party? We're not thinking it is, because it's just a house, really. But it's right on the corner of where he said it was. And they go, no, it's not Harry White. No, I've never heard of him. Well, he's supposed to have a big Canada Day party on this corner somewhere, and then we look over, and sure enough, there's another party going on down on this lawn, but it's this big lawn that's perfectly manicured with everybody. Like about 40 people sitting in a square with lawn chairs. Everybody's got lawn chairs in a square, and they're all wearing red and white for Canada Day. I'm kind of going, I'm not even going to check this party. If this is this is Harry White's party, I don't know if I want to bring Wax Panic into it. It's a little square, literally. Anyway, each to their own. It looked like fun, I suppose. Just not what I was expecting. Not quite a hippie party at all. So we didn't even check there. We checked the first corner that we came in had a hippie van, and so we sort of pull up there, and there's a there's a road that kind of crosses the corner, and it's their driveway. It sort of hits both, cuts across the corner. And we go down the road. There's only a van. There's nobody around. A nice field, and we're sort of going, well, maybe the Canada Day party. Everybody's out at a pond. We're all skinny dipping. Yeah, that's right. But there's no cars anywhere except for one hippie van. So we kind of bypassed it, thinking this can't be it. It's not the party. And come back around, and we're going, okay, well, let's see. The hydro wires are down farther. Maybe it's down by the hydro wires. And so we go down there, and we just hit the like the Snake Road turns into the service road, and there's no crossroads there. And it's kind of like, it doesn't seem to be here. And so we had already tried going all the way up Snake Road. Snake Road is very windy and it heads up to the escarpment to Waterdown. And I wanted to show Wax the road anyway, because it's a lovely road. It competes with Old Ancaster Road for windiness, and I live on Old Ancaster Road, so sort of competing roads. We go up Snake Road, nothing up there. I mean, there's the occasional house but no parties. And that was the wrong place anyway, because it was supposed to be down in the flat area by the highway. So we come all back down, we go to the hydro wires, nothing there. We say, well, okay, here's a lane by the hydro wires. We'll go in here. I can see there's a couple houses, and this is far from the corner. A couple houses up there, and we go up, and sure enough, there's a house with a big bonfire going. It's like, one truck. There's one truck here. Walk into the backyard. There's only a lady burning leaves. No, she hasn't heard of Harry White. No, she doesn't know about any hippie party. But there's that hippie van on the corner. And so we go, yeah, okay, we saw that. I guess we'll ask there. I guess we'll ask. And so we drive on back to the first, near the corner, in the first triangle of the corner, and go up to the hippie van place, knock on the door. In the back door between this and a really nice barn, knock on the door, and sure enough, this hippie comes to the door, with dreadlocks, and goes, hey, can I help you? What's happening? I say, well, we're looking for a Canada Day party, Harry White's Canada Day party. Do you know Harry White? Is it, around here? Do you know? As it wasn't Harry White. And he goes, no, I don't know any Harry White. No, I don't know a Canada Day party. And meanwhile, we're taking pictures of the deer that are on his lawn. It's like, oh, crap, how can a hippie on the corner where the party's supposed to be not know that there's a party here? In this land with alternative housing. And I'm starting to think, geez, is there a Harry White? I'd only met him 2 months ago. I was wanting to go to this party, and so, Wax is being dragged all. He's kind of getting into it, but I think at this point he was still doing the texting thing, looking a bit solemn. Anyway, we're in the car. We go, well, let's check on Facebook. So, hey, Wax, let's check on Facebook. We go on Facebook, and sure enough, Harry White is my friend, and it's got his address of Snake Road there. I'm going, okay, not imagining things. I knew I wasn't. I don't imagine things, but it was getting to this point. And we go, well, okay, he's got to be here somewhere. So we go down the Old York side, which also heads out, ends at the highway. Sort of a dead-end service road kind of feel to it. And there's, maybe 10, 20 houses along there, and a parent is putting his kids into a van to play soccer, and we hit the end, nothing. So we go, okay, well, we'll ask that parent. So we pull up, stop at the side of the road, and he's in this house, with a beware of dog sign, and the dog, German Shepherd, sort of out in the front. I'm kind of going, and I stand on the front yard for about at least a minute or two, waving at his family as he's trying to put his kids, like 3 or 4 kids, maybe neighbors' kids, who knows, into a van with soccer outfits, and he's like adjusting whatever, cleats and stuff. Anyway, I'm waving, going, and finally I get his attention and I say, hey, do you know Harry White? We're looking for a party that's on the corner of Snake Road and Old York Road underneath some hydro wires. And the guy goes, no, I don't know any Harry White. And the wife comes out the front door and goes, "Did you say under some hydro wires? Hey, what about that barrel? There's a white barrel along that lane by the hydro wires." And the guy goes, "Oh yeah, there's a white barrel by this lane by the hydro wires." So I go, "Finally, a break. This must be it." So he goes, "Yeah, just go half a mile, just like go to the end of these set of houses, and then there's a big break of houses, and there's hydro wires, and there's this lane by the hydro wire, just after them. Check there." Because she goes, "Yeah, there's some funny things going on back there." So, yes, that must be it. So we drive back, and what happens is the crossing of Old York Road and no, not Old Lancaster, Old York and Snake Road is like that, and on one of them, way back, like not at the corner but farther back, the hydro wires go across, and there was a lane on one side. We didn't even see, because there's houses, then lane, hydro wires, houses. And on Snake Road, like, we didn't really look there because that's Old York Road. On Snake Road, we were careful, and we didn't see a thing on Snake Road. Going out that far by the hydro wires, there just wasn't anything but that one road we went on. So anyway, back on Old York side, we go into this lane. And there on the right, we come up over this hill, there on the right are 3 trucks that were imported from Japan. One's called a snail truck, it looks like a snail. And the other ones are these 2 little, like, cute little mini, almost like, I don't know what you would call it, a refrigerator truck, sort of, that look, but much smaller. Little cute things, almost the size of a minivan, but it looks like a truck. And they were just marvelous. And then big round cylinder that apparently had come from some Eaton Center display or something like that. And we get in there down the road, and there's Harry White at the end of the driveway, the end of the drive, with this one guy and his kid. I go, "Okay, well, we found him, but maybe he's not as popular as I thought." But this time it's approaching 10 o'clock. Maybe he's not quite as popular as I thought, because this is much of a party for a Canada party. And then the guy takes off with his kid. We're left with Harry White, and Harry White goes, "Hey, thanks for coming by. Yeah, let me show you the place." And then he goes, "Oh, did you think the Canada Day party was this weekend?" It's like, oh God. Everybody had done Canada Day the weekend before Canada Day, which was like on a Tuesday, something like that. So we did the weekend. All the Canada Day parties were the weekend before. But he had a job in Toronto where he was putting a solar loft on an old fire hall that some lady had across from Maple Leaf Gardens. And it sounds like a great job. Super. It turns out, well, anyway, it reminded me at the end of the story to let you know about that. But anyway, it sounds wonderful. He had to work on that. He had it was open, and he had to get it closed. So he decided to do the party the weekend after Canada Day party. So anyway, Wax Mannequin, Mac and I spent 2 hours with him as he toured us through. Like, he took us through the homes in containers. They were wonderful. 2 homes sort of set off from one another, but you could pass through, and he had huge welding structures and a big giant stage with a scaffolding in behind that he projects on, and berms are like big lumps of earth that he had moved and to collect water into alternative gardening areas. Like, and his land goes all the way across the Snake Road, but most of that you can't get in. It's all just it's woods, tight woods and brush. But he had ponds and parking for 300 cars underneath the hydro wires and the lands. So it's just wonderful. We had a great time, and it was super. But the party was next week, and turns out he was looking for a band to play. So Wax Mannequin and Mac were invited to play, and Mac ended up being sick on the Canada Day party. We had a lovely time, and Canada Day happened. I went there after I was doing a light show on that weekend for Simply Saucer, but I went after the Simply Saucer thing, and just missed Wax Mannequin playing, unfortunately, but caught other bands and hung out with Wax and stuff. And then danced hippie for some for some time with this one girl who was she was a woman doing like total hoedown stuff. She was one of the most energetic dancers there for sure, and just I was doing some of my psychedelic, and she was doing weird twists, doing stuff like that. So it turned out later she was the owner of that loft that I was talking about in Toronto. So we come in, I had no idea. So, quite a wealthy, fun woman. Anyway, so I've been invited to go to the opening of the loft party. So it's good. And that's Tales from the Purple Box, or the Purple Book in this case. I'm inventor Dan Zen. Have a great day.